From the first bell to the last stand, this is for every fan who loves it. I am Dr. Love, and this is Aaron Love's Wrestling. Yeah! Turn the lights on, hear the crowd ignite. Heartbeat pounds on a Friday night. From the territory days to the modern age, every ring's a war, from every match to every stage. I grew up on legends, I learned to believe in heroes, villains, the blood, and you can see the love I have. It is all on my sleeve, from Dusty Rhodes to Bright Marquee. Wrestling is in my blood, there's no hate in me. Hear the roar when the music hits, goosebumps when the champion appears. Every style, every fight, every ring, one love for the business. I am here to bring the love and the passion in every review. Aaron loves wrestling. AEW, WENWA, New Japan, TNA. It doesn't matter about the brand, I love it all. Aaron loves wrestling. My heart is in the ring. No walls, no war, just the passion for the business that I bring. Aaron loves wrestling. Say it, one world, one voice, taking us higher. AEW, Monday Night Raw to Friday Night SmackDown, Saturday Night Main Event under the neon lights. And NXT has the rising stars. The future is looking pretty bright. Dreams get built in every fight. From Wednesday Night Dynamite to Saturday Night Collision, New Japan battles, hearts on fire. From the Tokyo Dome to Arena, Mexico, in every zone, every style's a kingdom, every ring is a throne. Give away to AEW, every New Japan pride. Say A line on the way, say W, A on the rise. Different banners, but the same love and passion pounding in us all. Aaron loves wrestling. Every brand, it doesn't matter about the three letters. From the local hall to the global star. Oh my God, that sound. When the essence hits, we are all ready to start. Aaron loves wrestling. Side by side. No tribal lines, just love for the business worldwide. This is wrestling. This is wrestling. Cuddy fights for the dreams of us all in red, white, blue. Hangman doesn't stay down, he is always fighting for redemption. Mox bleeds for the business, bringing out the passion in us all. Okada is the rainmaker, the money rains down with every title reign. Cena's never giving up the fight. Fear strikes in the heart of man when Undertaker appears. Sting is the vigilante that every villain fears. Legends will always be remembered, they never retire in our hearts. They will live on forever. From Flair to Michaels, from Hogan to Cena, from Omega's rise to acknowledging Reigns. Different paths but the same damn ring, same damn love for professional wrestling. Say it loud, I love wrestling. Say it proud, I love wrestling. No hate, no tribalism, just love for the business until the end of time. You know the war goes on your chest. If you love this business, then you're the best. No keyboard warriors, no hate, no lies. Just respect when the warriors rise. From the curtain rise to the final pin, we all are chasing that moment when the bell rings. It's more than title belts, it's more than glory. It's our love for professional wrestling in every story. So pull your hearts up, it's all one love. Every fan's got a place. From every city to every nation, we're united by a love for professional wrestling. Aaron loves wrestling. Hear the crowd with every chant, every heartbeat, and with every tear. Aaron loves wrestling. This is our life. From the rise of a hero to the falling of wrestling. I'll never end. American cowboy will always ride for this. Yeah! From the first bell to the last stand. This is for every fan who loves it. I am Dr. Love, and this is Aaron Love's Wrestling. Yeah! Turn the lights on, hear the crowd ignite. Heartbeat pounds on a Friday night. From the territory days to the modern age, every ring's a war, from every match to every stage. I grew up on legends, I learned to believe in heroes, villains, the blood, and you can see the love I have. It is all on my sleeve, from dusty roads to bright marquee. Wrestling is in my blood, there's no hate in me. Hear the roar when the music hits, goosebumps when the champion appears. Every style, every fight, every ring, one love for the business. I am here to bring the love and the passion in every review. Aaron loves wrestling. AEW, WENWA, New Japan, TNA. It doesn't matter about the brand, I love it all. Aaron loves wrestling. My heart is in the ring. No walls, no war, just the passion for the business that I bring. Aaron loves wrestling. Fire, one world, one voice.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Aaron Love Wrestling Podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Love himself, Aaron. I am here to discuss last night's show, AEW Dynamite Maximum Carnage. Yes, it was a great show, in my opinion. Really good show. I give it an 8 out of 10. Kicked off really great with Darby Allin versus Pac, and then it ended great with Bandido versus MJF for the AEW Men's World Championship. Even though Bandido fell short, I was hoping he would win, but I had a feeling he wouldn't. But I was hoping maybe, just maybe, there was some hope there, but didn't happen. But they gave us a great match and a great teased us throughout the match that Bandido might win, but in the end, MJF won. But before we get into this, I want to break down some news that was really trending last night and it's still trending today, because I want to discuss this and give my thoughts, and then give my thoughts about some of the AEW fans who are being really petty, honestly. I would say a lot of them are not. There's some really close friends of mine. They hate that he's leaving, but they're happy for him and hope he does well. And that man is none other than Powerhouse Hobbs. And you may wonder what's going on. If you haven't heard the news, his AEW contract was up last night at midnight per Fightful. Per Fightful, his contract was up with AEW at midnight last night. So he is now a free agent. He could show up on TNA Impact tonight on their debut show on AMC. He could show up on SmackDown tomorrow. Now, here's why it's a little bit of an issue. Because Saturday, although they taped it last night, and this is a spoiler, so if you don't want to hear the results of this match on Saturday, I read it already. There was a taping last night for AEW Collision and Maximum Carnage for this Saturday night, and it was announced on AEW Dynamite last night, Hangman Adam Page and Jet Speed, Speedball's calling them Jet Speed Cowboys. So we'll say Jet Speed Cowboys versus the Ops for the AEW World Trios Championships, and Hobbs is part of the Ops. So the taping happened last night for Saturday night. So if you don't want to hear the spoiler, you can get out real quick. They come right back because we got more to discuss. But they lost the titles. Jet Speed Cowboys won. And now Powerhouse Hobbs is a free agent, and the trios titles are now on Hangman Adam Page and Jet Speed. So But with this, Powerhouse Hobbs is a free agent. He is free to sign anywhere per Fightful. They've got some intel that he is basically WWE bound, and if that's the case, he could show up on SmackDown tomorrow if they're not going to put him on NXT. They could put him on NXT anyway. He could sign a contract this week and then be on NXT on Tuesday. Probably one of the involved in one of the matches for the NXT Championship ladder match. Be one like a surprise opponent or something, and that's how he gets introduced onto NXT. I'm a huge Powerhouse Hobbs fan. I met him at All In Texas last year. He was a great guy. Awesome to talk to. Glad I got to meet him. Got a picture with him. Got to hang out with him a little bit after the show as well down at the hotel. So Powerhouse Hobbs is a cool dude. Love Powerhouse Hobbs. And I'm glad to see him. I was glad to see him in AEW. He especially had a great year last year. One of the best years, in my opinion, in his career there. He's been there with the company since 2020, but he was really involved a lot with AEW last year in 2025 when he was involved in the AEW World Championship match on Maximum Carnage last year. He won the Trios title with the Ops, Samoa Joe, and Shibata when Hook got injured. He filled in for Hook, and he was a part of the Ops, and they just ran with it, and it worked really well. He has been with the Ops ever since then. Now, in my opinion, a guy like Powerhouse Hobbs, he's not a guy you just stick with the trios in a trios division or tag team division. He's a guy you put in your TNT title division. He's a guy you put in your AEW International title division, the Continental division, or better yet, your World Championship division, because this guy's a monster, and he is a really great wrestler and great on the mic as well. And everyone has room to grow, but I think he's really great and really solid for in the ring and on the mic. And I really love his charisma. I love his talent in the ring. I love his talent on the mic. Powerhouse Hobbs could have easily been AEW Men's World Champion. He could have been the second black AEW Men's World Champion. But that wasn't the case. Tony Khan had him remain in the trios division. He had a really good run with the TNT title, in my opinion. He could have had a good run with the AEW World Championship. So I'd imagine, this is just my thinking, this isn't factual, I just imagine that he was probably getting tired and frustrated being in a trios and tag team division. Again, just my thoughts. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he fulfilled his duties and said, I'm going to leave once my contract is up. But with someone like Hobbs, if he was really AEW, like AEW All Elite for life, like some are in the company, then he would have resigned with Tony Khan. Word has it, and there was a report that Tony Khan offered Powerhouse Hobbs, I think he matched or he offered more than what WWE offered him. And if that's the case and Powerhouse Hobbs still turned it down, then it makes me wonder why he did. Some are saying he's testing the waters. That's more likely what he's doing. But what if he was just tired of being in a group and he wanted to be on a singles run, and Tony Khan was going to keep him in the trios and tag division or keep him in the ops group or whatever, and that wasn't going to work well for Hobbs. So he decided to fulfill his duties and left on good terms. He left on good terms, so there's no issue with that. So that being said, he's going to WWE. I am not upset. I'm glad for Powerhouse Hobbs. I am not like some of these AEW fans who are just losing their minds and now they're just turning on Powerhouse Hobbs. There's some that are like, yeah, I ain't watching him and WWE. And then there's some are saying that, oh, well, he was impatient. If he had just waited a little bit longer and resigned with the company, he would have got his push. Powerhouse Hobbs has been with the company since 2025 years. He's been with AEW, and he has not gotten his push except for a TNT title run. How much longer does this guy have to wait? He shouldn't have to wait. He should have been in the AEW World Championship title mix. He should have been in there. He could have been the one to dethrone Hangman Adam Page instead of Samoa Joe. Why was it Samoa Joe? Why wasn't it Powerhouse Hobbs? Just saying, this guy's money. This guy's got the look, the physique, the charisma, the mic skills, the in-ring abilities. How can you not put a title on this guy and put him as the face of your company? Especially as a monster, the beast that he is. And that's why I'm okay with Hobbs leaving AEW, because honestly, Tony Khan fumbled Powerhouse Hobbs and could have pushed him more than what he did with the trios titles. He did great with the trios titles. I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm not saying that what he did there was bad, but he did great with the ops, and he fulfilled his duties, and he did what he had to do. It worked hard for AEW and fulfilled his end of the contract. And then in the end, he left on good terms. So if by some chance it doesn't work out with WWE or TNA, there's a strong possibility he can sign with TNA. Then he can go back to AEW if it doesn't work out on the other side. So I'm happy for Powerhouse Hobbs. And if you're an AEW fan, you're turning on Powerhouse Hobbs because he's going to WWE. This is the tribalism and that I hate. This is the tribalism that I hate, because soon as one leaves, and then you just want to X him out, mark him as a traitor, and there you go. And this is how good talent, really good talent, like Powerhouse Hobbs and many others who have left AEW, this is why they won't come back to the company. Pretty sure we will never see Ricky Saints back with AEW. I'm pretty sure we will not see Blake Monroe back with AEW after how the fans treated her after she left. I'm pretty sure we will not see Rusev back with the company. I'm pretty sure we will never see Cody Rhodes back with the company. There are many great wrestlers that AEW fans have pushed away, all because maybe they signed with WWE and now they're just this big enemy. And that I can't stand. I'm still going to watch the company because I'm not going to let a few sicko AEW fans ruin it for me, because I still love the company and I still love wrestlers. And I'm also going to watch WWE and TNA, which you can see tonight, my TNA watch along for the debut on AMC. But it just pisses me off that there are fans out there who are supportive of Powerhouse Hobbs, talking positive about him all year long last year. And then I get on today, and then I'm seeing the negativity and the hate that's being pushed now by some of these same accounts and content creators out there talking negative about Powerhouse Hobbs, all because he wants to do better for himself, which I'm sure him going to WWE, money's not an option. He wants to be treated more seriously, and he wants to be pushed and valued more, because per some sources that Tony Khan offered, matched the offer of WWE or paid him more. There's a couple sources out there saying either or, what is the truth? I don't know. We don't know. That's between Tony Khan and Powerhouse Hobbs. But if he really did, and then he still turned it down, then he obviously doesn't like the way he's being booked, and he's going to go to WWE and shine over there. And he will shine because he fits the WWE mold. Because, I mean, look at him. Look at him. Powerhouse Hobbs is a big guy. WWE loves big guys. Obafemi, Roman Reigns, Braun Breaker. You even got Keanu Carver in NXT now. Big guy, which I'm really hyped for, and I can't wait to see how he shines in NXT. Jasper Troy, he's another one. Many other big guys in WWE that they love and they push and they treat really well. And I'm 100% sure Powerhouse Hobbs will get the same, if not better, treatment. And he will also be one of the top, in some top storylines and competing for some titles. The Intercontinental Championship, United States Championship. Heck, I would even say put him in the mix with the WWE Championship. People saying, oh, it's being rushed, man. How long we've seen this guy in the ring, and he can go and he can do great in the ring. It's not being rushed. He has a long career ahead of him, and we can keep seeing him back in the title mix again. And maybe people are saying, oh, you just want to throw a title on anybody. No, I'm just saying with Powerhouse Hobbs, he's the guy that you can put it on, and he will do really well and carry that title well, and can be the face of the company as a heel. I think he'll be a great heel. He'll be a great counter to somebody like Cody Rhodes or CM Punk or Carmelo Hayes and some other top baby faces within the company. There's even a strong possibility he might join the division with Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and Braun Breaker. Shoo, imagine a team of Braun Breaker and Powerhouse Hobbs. That'd be an awesome tag team right there. Or Powerhouse Hobbs and Bronson Reed. I mean, I'd pray for the opponents against those guys. Just saying. That Powerhouse Hobbs, in my opinion, is going to be treated way better. I wouldn't mind seeing him in NXT. He can work his way up and shine there and win the NXT Championship, North American Championship. But I think he's main roster ready. He can be put on SmackDown, and he can easily shine over there, especially with that United States Championship. He can answer Carmelo Hayes' open challenge, win, and become the United States Champion. I honestly believe that, and I honestly think he will carry that title really well. So I'm happy for Powerhouse Hobbs. And if you're not, and you're one of those sickos that are turning on it because you are upset that he's leaving your precious AEW, go get some help. Because in my opinion, for you to turn on someone like him and many others who have left AEW for WWE because they're tired of how they're being treated and being held down, then maybe someone needs to start doing a little bit better booking and story writing in the company, and then you might can keep top stars like Powerhouse Hobbs and many others. There's some stars in AEW that will keep carrying the company. But for a guy like Powerhouse Hobbs, he could have easily been another main title contender had AEW booked him better in the ring, in my opinion. I've always said this, that he should have been booked in the AEW Men's World Championship title picture, and he should be in there contending for the title in the top story feuds and not in a tag team or a trios division or even a group, period. I don't even want to see him in the group division. I don't want to see him in any group in WWE. I want to see him pushed as the monster and the talent that he is, and see him pushed with the singles title, such as a United States or an Intercontinental or even the North American or NXT Championship in NXT. I don't want to see him put in a group or in a tag team, put him in the singles division and push this guy and watch him go. Because he has it, in my opinion. He can be one of the top guys in WWE if they push him and work with him on some areas that he might need working on. And if he needs to go to NXT to do that, then do it. But as far as Powerhouse Hobbs goes, I'm happy for him. Wishing him well and good luck in WWE, and I will be watching every single week, whether he's on Raw, NXT, or SmackDown. I will be watching Powerhouse Hobbs, and I think he'll be doing way better over there than he would him continuing on in AEW, honestly. Because I honestly think if he had re-signed with AEW, he'd be stuck in the ops group, and then once that fizzles out and Tony Khan's done with that, then he probably would have been for a forgotten talent and are probably put in the Ring of Honor brand, and that's that. So that's just my opinion on this situation. You can disagree, I don't care. I still love AEW. I still watch AEW, but there are things about AEW I disagree with, and this is one of them. And how can you not push this man and book him better than what you did? I don't know. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know your thoughts in the comment, Powerhouse Hobbs. I love him, and I can't wait to see him in WWE. Another signing in AEW has happened. The Rascals from TNA. Trey McGill, Desmond Xavier, Myron Reed. They are going to AEW. They are now all elite. And I love the Rascals. They were really great in TNA. There are some wrestlers. Zachary Wentz, that was the other guy. Trey McGill, Zachary Wentz, Myron Reed, and Desmond Xavier. They're now all elite. They are going to AEW. Thank you, Michael Vasquez. Thank you for joining. They're going to AEW. They have now signed with the company. They signed as of early Wednesday, around Wednesday afternoon. They are now with AEW. They did the little teaser last night with the Rascals in video package, which I love. I think they're going to be great. And if they are booked properly in the trios and tag division, they can easily be trios champions, and they can easily be tag team champions. I don't see the trios division desperately needs some factions in there. LFI could be one. The ops can continue. You got the Death Riders, and you got LFI, get him out of Ring of Honor and put him on AEW Dynamite in the Trios titles division, and you can add the Rascals in there as well. And if you want to get Omega and the Bucks back together with the Elite and continue on, you got a solid Trios division that could compete for the Trios titles. If you're not going to do any of that, then I say scrap the Trios titles, retire them, get rid of them, because there's no purpose for them except for putting them on somebody until you're ready to put them on somebody else, kind of like you did with the Elite. And they were on the Elite for a long while, and then it went to the Lucha Bros and Pac. Then after that, it went to the Death Riders, and it was on them for a little while. And then it went on the Ops, and it's been on the Ops for almost the entire year. And we haven't seen them. We've seen them defend them here and there, but not as much as other titles, such as the tag team titles, the TNT title, etc. So obviously the trios title is not a high priority. So if it's not a high priority, then scrap it, get rid of it. You can separate some of these factions or put some of them in tag team division, and you can focus on it there. I just think it's a little Tony Khan be a little more he could chew with this trios division, so he can easily do scrap it, get rid of it. We wouldn't miss it, and we can move on from this. So hey, Devin, what is going on, brother? Let's see what he said. What's good, brother? I think Tony is showing a weakness of how he books big guys. That is a fact. I agree with you on that one. Because now he's done that with Powerhouse Hobbs. He has done that with Wardlow. He has also done that with he also did that with Rusev when he was with the company. And many other Big Bill. Big Bill, he could book him a little bit better. There's so many big guys in AEW that could be booked way better than they are now, but instead they're being put in trios or tag teams. And with Mark Davis and Jake something, it works with Jake Doyle now, not Jake something, because they really, honestly, they look like freaking twin brothers. So they go well. But there's other guys like Powerhouse Hobbs. He could have been pushed in the singles division in TNT or AEW Men's World Title picture. Wardlow. What happened to freaking Wardlow? He was pushed really well up against MJF and then had a solid TNT title run. And then all of a sudden he was a forgotten. I know he got injured, but even then he was just forgotten. So Tony Khan can do way better with the big guys. And that's right. Lance Archer too. Lance Archer's another big guy. He's just lost in the mix of the Don Callis family. Lance Archer could be a big guy in the TNT title. Oh, but Brody King. Let's not forget the big Brody King. Why isn't he pushed in the TNT title picture? Why? Honestly, Bandido ran its course, in my opinion. We can see them separate, have him go in the TNT title picture and win the TNT championship. Why isn't he in the TNT title picture? Lance Archer is another one. Yes, that's right. He was really I was really hyped for him, especially when he was paired with Jake the Snake. I thought Jake the Snake was a really good manager for him, and then that just got forgotten. And then all of a sudden we just see Lance Archer reappear in some groups over the years, and now he's with the Don Callis family, and who knows who will join the Don Callis family next. Maybe I will. Just kidding. Don't like Don Callis family. But there are so many other. Heck, if they throw the Rascals in the Don Callis family, I'm really ticked off. Honestly, I really will. If they get thrown in the Don Callis family mix, I bet I'm going to be ticked off. I don't see it happening, but if there's some chance Tony Khan thinks it's a great idea, it's not. So keep the Rascals as the Rascals they are. Maybe they can compete with the Don Callis family. I don't want to see Mascara Dorada with the Don Callis family. He was just recently signed by AEW. Him, Ray Hechicero. Hopefully I said it right that time. And then we have Paris Phone. She signed, another top CMLL talent. They also are all elite. I think they all have dual contracts. I know Mascara and Hechicero do, but I can't remember if Paris Phone did or not. But still, they're all elite. They're with the AEW, and I got the Rascals. So some good signings. I just hope they don't get lost in the mix. The Rascals can be a solid trios or tag team in the trios or tag division if booked properly. So I'm excited for Powerhouse Hobbs and WWE. I can't wait to see him and Obafemi or in him and Braun Breaker even. I mean, that's going to be a match for me. I got some dream opponents for Powerhouse Hobbs. Let me know what y'all think his name is going to be. And I'm being serious, no goofy name. I mean, what name do you think he could be, or that the WWE pick for him in WWE once he gets there? I'm thinking he might use his actual name, Willie Hobbs, and that wouldn't be bad. Maybe Monster Hobbs or something else. Unless he owns the name to Powerhouse Hobbs, unless he owns that right, that he could take it with him. And if so, then he could be Powerhouse Hobbs over there in WWE. I mean, why change it? To me, it works. It fits him. So if he owns that right and he can carry with him wherever, it doesn't matter what company says what, that'd be cool too. So I'd like to see him in the WWE as Powerhouse Hobbs. But there could be other names that he could pick. And I'll still love him either way. And I know he will be a great NXT North America and NXT champion. But I would love for him to be on that SmackDown roster, answer an open challenge for United States Championship, and win that title. And he can be a United States champion on SmackDown. I think that would be great. Maybe see him and Carmelo Hayes feud over that title for a bit. But yeah, so the Rascals, back to the Rascals. We get back on Powerhouse Hobbs again. He's a big topic, because to me, it is a big loss for AEW, losing Powerhouse Hobbs. It is. It really is. I'm glad he's going to do good in WWE. I've been waiting for a good push with him for a while now, and if AEW ain't going to do it, it might as well be WWE. The Rascals. The Rascals are in AEW. I think they're going to fit well with their style of wrestling. They did really great in TNA, won some TNA tag team titles. And he had Myron Reed scheduled to face Leon Slater for the X Division title this Thursday. There was a report saying that he was going to fulfill his obligation on tonight's TNA Impact and have the match with Leon Slater, which if it had happened, then we already know who's going to win. Leon Slater is going to retain that title. But WWE pulled Leon Slater for the UK tour. So Myron Reed doesn't have to do so. And I'm pretty sure TNA didn't want to go ahead and do it, knowing he was going to sign with AEW, because as you can see last night, Tony Khan went ahead and just put the graphic up of the Rascals are coming to AEW. So that airing plus Myron Reed wrestling tonight for the X Division title, you already know not only is he going to lose, but you got AEW talent wrestling on TNA. So I'm pretty sure they didn't want that, especially being affiliated with WWE. Pretty sure WWE want that either. Maybe that's not what happened, but just a theory. But the Rascals joining AEW, they'll be great in the trios and the AEW tag team title mix. But as I already said, if they're not going to be in the trios division and they're not going to be utilizing that, then go ahead and scrap the trios titles. We don't need them. And go ahead and use some of these guys you're trying to force in the trios division, use them elsewhere, like the tag team division or the TNT or the AEW. I mean, what's going on at the AEW National Heavyweight Championship? Well, I've seen Ricochet defend that title twice since we've had it, and we've had it since November. Thought this was a title that was going to be, what did Tony Khan say? I think he said going to be regularly defended. I'm sorry, but you're defending it once, twice, or three times in the course of about 3 or 4 months. That's not regularly defending the title. So not only did they not only they stole it from another company, now they're not even treating it right, because it's now just a pointless title, in my opinion. I thought it was going to be good, but it's not. We'll see how long Ricochet holds this title with little title defenses. Because as far as my knowledge goes, he's only defended the title twice. He defended on a Collision, and he defended in some other independent wrestling company elsewhere. That's the only time I can remember him defending those titles. So, not saying that could be another title that could be scrapped and done away with. Push the TNT title more. Push the Continental title more. Push the International title more. I mean, now since the unified title is gone, where's the international champion? Where is the AEW international champion? Where is Okada? Yes, he had the match at Wrestle Kingdom against Tanahashi, which was a great match. But where is the AEW international champion Okada? Why ain't that title being defended? If that ain't going, it's going to be, yep, a prop for Ricochet. Yep, it was a title to give to Ricochet, maybe to make him happy because he wanted a title. So they're like, here we go. Let's create this one. And then there you go. So we'll see how long he holds that title. Well, maybe he'll go on a Mercedes Moné title run with that thing. I can see that happening. I honestly can. But as far as Maximum Carnage goes, let's get into it. This was a pretty good card, in my opinion. There's one match that is not on the graphic, and that is the Brody King and a squash match against some talent. And he easily won that, and he had a pretty good promo afterwards talking about Bandido winning the AEW Championship. A little rah-rah speech. Pretty good speech. I was hoping Bandido was going to win, but as we all expected, it wasn't going to happen. I thought it'd be great to have him win, and him being the AEW Men's World Champion and Ring of Honor Champion, and live up to his nickname, the Most Wanted Champion. I think that would be a great way for him to hold the title for a little while and do so. But MJF continues his title reign. The AEW Men's World Champion is still MJF. So I thought we'll see who his challenger is next. As far as that goes, we had Darby Allin defeat Pac in a great opening match, in my opinion. I thought that was a really great match, a good A for me. And there were some spots in that match I'm like, made me cringe, especially that suplex onto the steel steps with that Pac did to Darby Allin, bro. That was pretty cringy. I mean, my back hurt looking at that. Then you had Darby Allin doing a coffin drop from the second tier of the stands there. They went and fought in the stands, and he jumped from the second tier up there on the Pac doing a coffin drop. That was pretty scary. And then you had suplex that Pac did to Darby Allin, about near threw him across the dang gum ring. My goodness. He got some oomph on that one. So honestly, but in the end, this was a pretty good match in my opinion. Just Pac and Darby Allin gave us a great match. Again, a solid A, good way to open the show. So we had that. Then you had Hangman Adam Page, my boy. He had there was a filler match with that as well, with him going up against Brian Keith, the bounty hunter. So you have Brian Keith and Big Bill out there, and Hangman Adam Page out there as well. And with Big Bill trying to get involved, Big Bill trying to get involved, and you had not Jungle Jack Perry. You had Swerve get involved and help. So Swerve helped him out. So, and then Hangman Adam Page won the match, and then Swerve and Hangman were in the middle of the ring with the nice promo. Then out comes the wrestling god, the god of pro wrestling, not the wrestling god, that's JBL, the god of pro wrestling, the cleaner, the best bout machine himself, Kenny Omega, comes out, and he comes out to basically insert himself into the AEW Men's World Championship picture, and basically tells Swerve and Hangman that he's going to be in it as well. And Hangman tells Kenny Omega that, let the best man win. So we'll see how this plays out. I think it'll be leading up. I think so. You got those three men, Kenny Omega, Swerve, and Hangman and Page going for that title. MJF's the champion. And then what if we also get Kyle Fletcher involved, and we have their style of an Elimination Chamber match for this AEW Men's World Championship? Just a thought. You have all these men gunning for the title. Maybe, just maybe, that's in the works of Tony Khan in his mind. Yes, it would be a copy of WWE, not an alternative, but I think they could have their own type of an Elimination Chamber match, or maybe a new match style, or maybe a 5-way Texas death match or something. I don't know. But that's what I'm wondering. With all these men going after that title with MJF, there's got to be something cooking of a big match stipulation with them. Or it could be, or maybe like a tournament plays out with all of them to compete for the men's world title at maybe Revolution or something. Or maybe it's a fatal four-way, another fatal four-way match at Revolution. I don't know. We'll see. But great. This was a solid match, in my opinion, with them. And then the promo at the end was good as well. So we'll get Kenny Omega involved and maybe win the AEW Men's World Championship again and become the AEW Men's World Champion. So we'll see. We will see. And then you have Brody King defeat John Cruz in a squash match. John Cruz was MJF's lawyer or manager or something, whatever he was. And Brody King squashed him. So really squash match. That's when we got the little rah-rah speech for Brody King after the match. And then you have Mark Davis and Jake Doyle, formerly known as Jake something in TNA, but now he's Jake Doyle. And like I said, him and Mark Davis look like twins. I'm just saying. They look like brothers. They are a good pairing, really good pairing. And they won this match to become the number one contenders. Will they win the AEW Men's Tag Team Championships? I don't think so. I really don't. But never know. Never know. But I think, honestly, if FTR will retain those titles, Jake Doyle and Mark Davis will be kind of, jobbers in this one. And then you'll have FTR win and retain. And we'll probably get where it leads up to Christian Cage and Adam Copeland returning and competing for those titles and then having one last tag team title run before they retire. That's what I'm thinking this is going to lead to at some point. So then after that, we had the Triangle of Madness go up against the Babes of Wrath and Chris Statlander, which, speaking of Chris Statlander, got my new Chris Statlander shirt in today in the AEW crate box that I got, my second one, which is awesome. If you are not subscribed for the AEW crate, I highly recommend it. For $40 every 3 months. You only got to pay $40 for every 3 months. Not every month, every 3 months. So you get in this box 2 t-shirts. That's an $80 deal right there because they're about $30-$40 a piece on AEW.com or WShop.com. Then you get an autograph picture, which I just got a Will Nightingale one today, and you get some other goodies in this box. For $40, that's not a bad deal. I wish WWE and TNA would even do something like that because that'd be pretty cool. But I love that AEW does this. I mean, you get 2 shirts and all the other goodies in there. That's a deal for $40. It is. Which I will be showing it off later today on my TikTok of all I got. So be watchful of that. But you had the Babes of Wrath and Chris Statlander go up against Triangle of Madness. You had Triangle of Madness win by Tekla, however you say her name. Tekla go defeat Chris Statlander by pinning her. So someone put out there, what if Julia Hart and Sky Blue win the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships, and then Tekla wins the AEW Women's World Championship, and you have Triangle of Madness with all the titles. Possibility. I can see it happening. And I love the Triangle of Madness. They're a good group. Maybe we'll see that happen. But it was a great match with these 6 ladies last night. They had a really good match, in my opinion. Then following that, we had the main event, which was a phenomenal main event. Even though Bandido did not win, I give this match a good A+. Bandido at one point jumped from the top turnbuckle over the barricade to MJF on the other side of the barricade when MJF was over that wall. And I'm like, man, Bandido got some height on that one. But in the end, MJF defeated Bandido. Great match between these two men. And then at the end of the match, after the match, MJF was giving a really good speech praising Bandido. He was saying at first, I thought it was a joke for him to even compete for this title. But after wrestling him, you're a future world champion. you're going to win the AEW World Championship one day. And then he basically said, not today. And he said, that's the problem. And then he starts attacking Bandido. And then out comes Brody King to chase off MJF. But I thought it was a pretty good speech by MJF. And I think that was maybe a little teaser of one day Bandido will win the AEW World Championship. Because in my opinion, Bandido is a great world champion. Not only the Ring of Honor world champion, but he's a great wrestler. He's over with the crowd. He sells the merch on AEWshop.com. His mask does as well, which hopefully soon I will get a mask. That's what I'm planning on getting next. So Bandido, he can easily be AEW World Champion and be the face of the company. So there's another guy that can be in the title mix as well. So you got a lot of top talent in this AEW World Championship title run that we're going to see. You got Bandido, Kenny Omega, Heyman Adam Page, Swerve Strickland. Pretty sure soon Darby Allin will be in there. You got a lot of men, top stars of the company, competing for this title. Kyle Fletcher probably getting mixed soon, and Will Ospreay once he returns from injury. So you got these top 7 men really competing for this one world title. And this is why I love having one world championship, because you can have more of your top stars competing for the world title. That's why I love having one world title and not 2 world titles, because you can have a lot of your top men compete for the title instead of having to split them up and split the stars up. This is why I love one world championship, having one world title, because you can have your top man compete for this, and it makes it more valuable and prestigious, in my opinion, compared to having 2 world titles, because having one world championship and he or she is the one world champion. Now you got all these stars want to go for that title. So it's good to have one world title and then the secondary title, which AEW's got quite a bit of secondary titles. But this was a great. This is great that we have this many men competing for the world title. So in the end, again, this was an 8 out of 10 show for me. Really solid show. I'm ready for Collision Maximum Carnage this Saturday as well. It's got a pretty good card going. We have the trios world titles on the line. Hobbs' final match with AEW with Samoa Joe and Shibata putting the titles on the line against Jet Speed Cowboys, Heyman Adam Page and Jet Speed. So, which if you missed the spoiler at the beginning, I won't spoil it again, but there was a spoiler alert with this match. But this will be on this Saturday, and I think it'll be a great match as well. David says, when the next AEW pay-per-view? I think it's Revolution. Let me see. I think Revolution in March is the next pay-per-view. I know there's a Grand Slam coming up next month, Dynamite Grand Slam. But that's not really, it's technically not a pay-per-view. It's just going to be a big Dynamite show or Collision show. Yeah, the next one's Revolution, March 15th. Then after that, in April, it'll be Dynasty. And after that, it'll be All In. So AEW is spacing out their pay-per-views. I like it. They're spacing out the pay-per-views. They're not doing one every single month this time. So they're spacing out the pay-per-views. So I like that fact. I like that we have that going, because in the end, having multiple pay-per-views back to back. I mean, I like having it where stories can breathe, in my opinion. Where stories can breathe, and you can have the big payoff at the pay-per-view. But when you have them back to back, that's where it can be where stories can't breathe and everything. But that's the next pay-per-view is AEW Revolution. Again, I'm happy for Powerhouse Hobbs. He is he's a great talent, and I think he'll do well over in WWE or TNA. You know, sources say a WWE bound, but we'll see when that happens. You never know. He might show up at TNA tonight. Maybe. I hear the TNA International title might be defended tonight. We'll have an open challenge position. Now comes Powerhouse Hobbs. Other news, there's a word that EC3 is returning to TNA, so we'll see that. EC3 back in TNA. That'd be cool. But solid show from Dynamite Maximum Carnage last night. I'm excited for Collision Maximum Carnage this Saturday, and then we got Dynamite next week as well. Also announced that we'll have Kenny Omega go up against Josh Alexander next Wednesday on AEW Dynamite. Finally, we get this match. I think these two will be fantastic. They'll have a fantastic match. So that's what's going to go on Dynamite. That's what's announced so far. Collision Maximum Carnage is getting a stat card this week as well. And then we'll see Powerhouse Hobbs' final AEW appearance on Collision Maximum Carnage. I liked how one podcast put out there. He believed that that he should have defended the title live on Dynamite instead of doing a taping and airing on Saturday, because now that Hobbs is a free agent, he can show up at any time, anywhere. He can show up on TNA tonight or SmackDown on Friday. And if that happens, and then you have him pop up on Collision, on the tape Collision, then it'll just kind of ruin everything, really. Nobody would really want to tune in because they already know the outcome of the ending, which they kind of already do with some of the leaks so far on spoilers on social media. So another star lost by AEW. Mike says, I don't like how people are now saying that the Rascals are nobodies now that they're with AEW, but now people are suddenly fans of Hobbs and Anna Jay now that they're leaving AEW. Oh, that's another one too, Anna Jay. Thank you for reminding me, sir. Anna Jay is also being reported to be leaving AEW, which I don't blame her either. She hasn't been, she's been a TBS champion, but since then she hasn't been really utilized that well. I want to hate that TJ is no more. They were a great women's tag team. In my opinion, started the women's tag team revolution to get the tag team division and titles. They should have been the inaugural women's tag team champions, in my honest opinion. But that's probably why they weren't, because they probably got word Anna Jay is leaving, and she will be probably WWE or TNA bound. I think she'll be a great fit in TNA. And if that's the case, then there's no need to put the titles on her. So I see why they didn't do it. But in my opinion, with how hard those two women worked to build up that tag team division, and then the tag team titles finally get created and established on the show, they should have been the inaugural AEW Women Tag Team Champions, in my opinion. I love the Babes of Wrath, nothing against them, and they're great tag team champions right now, but all that hard work and nothing to pay off for it with TJ, it just kind of disappoints me, honestly. But yeah, tribalism does suck, sir. I do. I agree. Same thing, like you said, a lot of people said the Rascals were nobodies. We're in TNA, and all of a sudden they get signed to AEW, and now all of a sudden everybody's hyped up and ready for the Rascals. I've seen that online. Same AEW fans that were making fun of the Rascals when Matt Hardy stated that TNA is basically coming for AEW for that number 2 promotion spot, then they're mocking the roster, and Rascals were part of it. Now that the Rascals are signed with AEW and Jake something, now known as Jake Doyle, now all of a sudden that they're awesome and great talents, and they're all of a sudden not nobodies anymore. Yeah, that's the tribalism that sucks. Same thing how they're treating Powerhouse Hobbs right now. I've seen so many disrespectful and disappointing comments online so far about Powerhouse Hobbs. In my opinion, it kind of pushes me away from AEW at that point, because when you do that to a talent, when you praised him so much, and all of a sudden now he is just moving on and trying to do better for himself, and not only for himself, he's got to think of his family that he's got back at home too, and taking care of them, and maybe his longevity of his career and his health and everything. He's looking it out for them. So if the sources are true that Tony Khan Master offered him more money than WWE, then it goes to show that WWE the money wasn't the factor here. It's him wanting to be probably pushed more seriously than what he is now. And Tony Khan had that option last year. Had he pushed him more last year in the TNT title picture or AEW World Championship picture or some meaningful storylines, maybe Powerhouse Hobbs would have resigned with the company. But when you just had him thrown in the trios and a faction with the trios team, with the trios titles, that was rarely defended because trios titles obviously are not a priority to Tony Khan, then I can see why Powerhouse Hobbs wants to leave. And that's the problem with some of the booking. There's some booking like last night's card. The last night's card was really good, but there's some talent in AEW that I would like to see leave, and they can go and shine elsewhere. And especially now with TNA, they can go in TNA right now, and TNA can sign some of the wrestlers. I think Anna Jay would be a great fit with TNA. Britt Baker even. Where's Britt Baker? A lot of people have said that Britt Baker has of course, she might be dealing with their health issues, which I'm praying and everything that'll be all right. But there's been some tension backstage with her and supposedly with MJ's wife. And if that's the case, then she's probably already burnt some bridges. And she's also been vocal of how she's not been used in AEW as of late and pushed or booked. So if she's not going to be utilized, well, maybe she can elsewhere. And TNA or WWE would be a great fit, in my opinion. So you got some talent with AEW that get fumbled and not booked right, and you got the same with WWE, and then they go to the other company, and then they get booked better and treated better. It happens all the time. Same thing with TNA. It happens all the time. It's not just AEW. It's not just WWE. It's not just both of them do it, and then when they go and leave for the other company, they get booked better. So we'll see how that works with the Rascals. Again, if they do so in the trios and tag team division, I think, honestly, they have something here, and they can especially the trios division, because they really need to bring that back to life, because, honestly, this trios titles are nothing, really. They're meaningless. There's no solid factions, really, in AEW, except for Death Riders, Ops are not I wouldn't say they're not some solid ones. They're not being pushed in the right way for this trios titles, because you can have Death Riders compete for them even though they already won them and held them already. You can have still the Ops do it with Samoa Joe and Hook and Shibata. You can have the Rascals thrown in there. You can have even the Don Callis family thrown in there. You got this big family thrown together for what? How about not utilize them in the trios division? Hey, you got LFI. What about LFI, Roost, Listico, and Sammy Guevara and Beast Mortos? How about pushing them in this trios tag team division instead of having them on freaking Ring of Honor? I'm sorry, but that's not where they need to be, especially the talent of Sammy Guevara. He should be in the TNT title picture again, or he should be in the AEW International title picture again, not competing on freaking Ring of Honor for the Ring of Honor tag team titles. That's just my honest opinion. There's some things about AEW I get frustrated with. There's some things I can criticize them with. If you're an AEW fan, you're listening, you think I'm wrong, and you just you unfollow me or block me because you don't like this opinion that I'm giving, well, I don't care, because this is the truth. Because there are things in AEW that I do get frustrated with, and I'm going to call it out, and I'm going to voice it because it needs to be. And then if it doesn't change, it doesn't change. I'm still going to show up and watch every week and hope and enjoy the things that I do love. So but LFI, they should be off of Ring of Honor. Honestly, Shane Taylor Promotions as well. They're a solid faction. How about you retire those Ring of Honor 6-man tag team titles, and how about you move them up in the AEW Trios division? You can utilize them in there as well. Then you got Skyflight. Use them in the Trios tag team title division. Instead of random 6-man tag team or Trios tag team matches, how about you use it with the AEW Trios tag team titles? And how are we going to go with Heyman and Adam Page competing for the AEW Men's World Championship, and now he's the Trios champion? I mean, come on. He got his rematch in a 4-way match. And then after that, now he's the Trios champion of Jet Speed. It's going to be a fun faction, but with these titles, again, they're just meaningless in my opinion. There's no structure with those titles. They should be either utilized better with a lot of these factions they got now, especially with the Don Callis. You probably have two trios teams with the Don Callis family right now. Yeah, you can. You can have 2 trios teams right there with the Don Callis family. I won't be surprised if Rascals go to Ring of Honor. It's a possibility. I hope that's not the case. I really don't, because that's where Ace Austin went. I thought Ace Austin would be in there with the Bang Bang Gang or utilizing the Continental Classic or Continental title, or heck, you can even use it in the National Heavyweight title. Now you got that one, or just have him in some good feuds and some good matches on AEW. But he's on Ring of Honor. He had a great Ring of Honor match when I went to Collision and they had the Ring of Honor taping afterwards. He had a really great Ring of Honor match. But you sign him, you say he's all elite, then you throw him on Ring of Honor. I mean, come on. How about you move him up, maybe even put it back with the Bang Bang Gang, and they could be added to the Trios division. Hey, everything's piecing together. Just saying. Until the Gunn brother gets fully healthy, you can add Ace Austin with the Bang Bang Gang, even though because he's already with them anyway, and you have them compete for those Trios titles. To be honest, there are plenty of wrestlers in AEW just like the Rascals. Is why I prefer Anna Jay to TNA than NXT. They need to stand out. Yeah, Anna Jay, honestly, yes, I agree, would be a better fit in TNA because they could use some more star power and talent over there than NXT and WWE, because NXT right now, they got a solid women's division as it is right now. So Anna Jay getting added over there. I mean, she will be hot off the start. Like, she'll get a good push off the start because the new signing. Oh, look what we have. We got the former AEW star, and they're going to push that on WWE. But after a while, I mean, maybe she'll still be in the mix, maybe with even Blake Monroe. But watch the AEW fans turn on her like they did Blake Monroe and say that, oh, look, grass ain't greener on the other side. And, like, people keep bringing up that dang gum Tony Storm promo that you'll be forgotten and this and that, which was a great promo. It was great for the story, but Blake Monroe's doing really well in NXT. She's doing really well. She's got some room to grow, but she's only been with the company since, about 7 months now, but still. She's doing really well in NXT, and eventually she'll get a call up to the main roster. There's already sources saying they're looking at pulling her up to the main roster. So, and she haven't won the NXT Women's Championship yet, compared to JC Jane, who's been in NXT for like 6 years now, and she's held that NXT title, and I'm waiting for her to get pushed up. Maybe Rascals and NWA, but their pockets are not deep, unfortunately. There was a source saying that they were discussing with NWA, and of course renegotiating with TNA as well, but I guess Tony Khan reached in his pocketbook and said, hey, come over here, and he dished it out. So they all got paid, which is great. I'm happy for them. They're getting their pay. They get better pay than what they were getting. But in the end, are they going to be utilized properly, as I was saying, in the Trios division? Because that could use it. They could use the Trios division, and Trios titles could use guys like the Rascals, a team like the Rascals. Same for LFI, same for Shane Taylor Promotions, same for Don Callis family. Like I said, you could probably have 2 Trios teams with the Don Callis family alone. AEW's got them, but it's just with the booking and everything, it's not being done properly with the Trios titles, which, in my opinion, they can just scrap them, retire them, get rid of them. We tried. And then just continue on with the tag team titles, and then use these other talents in the divisions, such as the AEW National Heavyweight, Continental, and even international TNT divisions, and you can utilize them in that. Because the Trios titles, again, they just threw a random star power team such as Jet Speed and Hangman to carry win those titles and to hold them. But where's LFI? How about LFI get them? Why couldn't LFI compete for them on Saturday night and win those titles and carry those titles? Roosh and Jalistico, Beast Mortos, Sima Guevara even. Why couldn't they done it? Instead of throwing Hangman with the Jet Speed to compete for these titles, taking Hangman out of the AEW World title picture, you just used him for that short little stunt at All in Texas because he's the Cowboy. And then now what? Now we're done with it? Like, now you're done with Hangman. after the Texas theme, I guess. Having the Cowboy win in Texas. How about you continue on with that ride and continue on with the world title picture? Now it seems like they're going to probably move on from him, and we'll go back to Swerve and Kenny, and maybe and more likely Will Ospreay. And Will Ospreay will get his title shot and his title win at All in London. And after that little ride, then we'll see what happens next. I mean, you can keep the momentum going with these guys in the world title picture. But now that Heyman competed in a 4-way match and he lost, he didn't win, now all of a sudden we're done. Now you got winning the trios titles. In my opinion, it's bad booking, and I disagree with it. You should have kept him in the World Championship mix. Even teaming with Swerve, he could have continued teaming with Swerve and going up against MJF or even Death Riders of Don Callis family or whoever's trying to come at them for that world title. But now you got them teaming with Jet Speed, and they're going for the Trios Championships. I disagree with that. You could have had somebody else team with Jet Speed that would fit better, in my opinion. It's just kind of odd of having Jet Speed and Hangman together. So I just disagree with that. I disagree with that booking decision. I think it's a bad booking decision, and I think we should have Heyman in the title picture and Jet Speed can remain in the tag team title picture and go for the tag team titles. Or you can add someone else to compete with the Jet Speed to go after the trios titles. That's what could have happened there. I mean, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. What do you think of Powerhouse Hobbs leaving AEW to sign with WWE or TNA? There's no really confirmation yet. Just some sources. What do you think of the Rascals joining AEW? I think I'm excited. I'm trying to get too excited because I really hope, just like David said, they don't get lost in the mix on Ring of Honor. If they get pushed on AEW, on Dynamite or Collision, especially in the trios and tag division, then I will be more excited about it. But we'll see. They might, considering, this whole TNA AEW war that's probably going on. Maybe Tony Khan will do that. It kind of show TNA like, hey, I got your guys, now look what I'm doing with them. Maybe. I can see him doing that. It looks like he might be doing that with Jake Doyle and Mark Davis. So, we'll see. But let me know your thoughts. I appreciate everybody coming in the chat. Tune in tonight, 7:45 Central Time. We got the debut of TNA Impact. I'm excited. I can't wait. And tune in here a little bit later. I'm about to show off my AEW crate on the Tiki-Taki, so go tune in to that. So, again, appreciate everybody. Thank y'all for coming. Again, tribalism sucks. I hate tribalism. Love professional wrestling. Have fun. You can voice your criticism, but have fun. And love professional wrestling. Have a good one, y'all.
Yeah! From the first bell to the last stand, this is for every fan who loves it. I am Dr. Love, and this is Aaron Loves Wrestling. Yeah! Turn the lights on, hear the crowd ignite. Heartbeat pounds on a Friday night. From the territory days to the modern age, every ring's a war, from every match to every stage. I grew up on legends, I learned to believe in heroes, villains, the blood, and you can see the love I have. It is all on my sleeve, from Dusty Rhodes pretty bright. Dreams get built in every fight. From Wednesday night Dynamite to Saturday night Collision, New Japan battles, hearts on fire. From the Tokyo Dome to Arena, Mexico, in every zone, every style's a kingdom, every ring is a throne. Give away to AEW, every New Japan pride. AA line on the way, AEW, A on the rise. Different letters but the same love and passion pounding in us all. Aaron loves wrestling. Every brand, it doesn't matter about the three letters. From the local hall to the global star. Oh my God, that sound. When the entrance hits, we are all ready to sign. Aaron loves wrestling. Side by side. No tribal lines, just love for the business worldwide. This is wrestling. This is wrestling. Cuddy fights for the dreams of us all in red, white, blue. Hangman doesn't stay down, he is always fighting for redemption. Mox bleeds for the business, bringing out the passion in us all. Okada is the rainmaker, the money rains down with every title reign. Cena's never giving up the fight. Fear strikes in the heart of man when Undertaker appears. Sting is the vigilante that every villain fears. Legends will always be remembered, they never retire in our hearts. They will live on forever. From Flair to Michaels, from Hogan to Cena, from Omega's rise to acknowledging Reigns. Different paths but the same damn ring, same damn love for professional wrestling. Say it loud, I love wrestling. Say it proud, I love wrestling. No hate, no tribalism. Just love for the business until the end of time. You know the world goes on your chest. If you love this business, then you're the best. No keyboard warriors, no hate, no lies. Just respect when the warriors rise. From the curtain rise to the final pin, we all are chasing that moment when the bell rings. It's more than title belts, it's more than glory. It's our love for professional wrestling in every story. So pull your hearts up, it's all one love. Every fan's got a place. From every city to every nation, we're united by a love for professional wrestling. Aaron loves wrestling. Hear the crowd with every chant, every heartbeat, and with every tear. Aaron loves wrestling. This is our life. From the rise of a hero to the falling of wrestling. Never ends. From the opening bell to the final ring. Aaron loves wrestling. We all just love listening. AEW, no more hate. Just love professional wrestling. AEW. The American Cowboy will always ride for this. Dr. Love will always share the love of professional wrestling. For every ring, every wrestler, and every fan. One word, one passion, one truth that I'm confessing. I